Okay, so I want to ask you all a question. Have you ever felt entangled in something? Something like an addiction, perhaps, something like mental health, anxiety, depression, perhaps you're lonely, perhaps you're just wrapped in loneliness at the moment, anger towards somebody else, somebody said yes. Bitterness, perhaps, anything that you feel is just wrapping itself around you, and with every single day, as the day goes by and as the weeks go on, it's tightening its grip around you, and you just feel like, I'm never going to be able to get out of this. Have you ever felt like that? Yeah. Oh. I'm glad I'm not the only one. You wander through life and you cling to things that you think will kind of put the key in the lock to get you out. Imagine yourself just wrapped in chains and there's just padlocks all over you, and everything that you go to try and get you out of it, it's just not working. The keys are just not going in the lock, and you're just thinking, I have no idea how on earth I'm going to get out of these chains, because everything that I thought would open these chains for me, it's just not happening, and I'm still stuck. So as a result, we basically just say it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just going to carry on. I'm just going to accept that this is just the way that it's meant to be for me. I'm just meant to be walking through life feeling heavy laden, feeling burdened, feeling like I'm dragging a sack of bricks around with me wherever I go. And we accept that that's the case. And so, in response to that, we chase temporary highs, we chase manufactured happiness, and we think that there is actually no such thing as the real thing. And then you come to Soul Point, and you meet all these people. And Dylan said yesterday, Dylan got baptized along with Olivia yesterday. Amazing service, by the way. It was super cool. And Alan, oh my gosh, Alan, I'm so sorry, I love you. So they got baptized.
And Linda.
And Linda! Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, I love you all. I'm so sorry. This is why I never mention names in what I do, because I forget. I'm so sorry. I love you all. Anyway, so Dylan said up here, and there's something that that really sort of resonated with me. He sort of came in, and he said he started to come to Soul Point, and he saw people that were really happy, and and he was like, I kind of want what you've got. Let me know what you're getting around the back, because I need to know. And so you start coming to Soul Point, and you start hearing about Jesus, and you start hearing about people talking about Jesus and about the cross and about becoming a Christian and how it set them free and how they find freedom and they found joy and they found happiness and all these things. And you're like, okay, that sounds really good, that sounds cool, but that's not for me, because I've spent my life trying things out and they just never work. So why is Jesus going to be any different? Why am I going to just become a Christian because I think that it's going to work for me? Because honestly, it's not, and I'm not enjoying it. I don't want it. I just don't want to hear it. Which is, I understand, and I understand that when you come in here, it is a bit weird sort of talking about Jesus to you. I understand that. And I understand that you may have some reservations, but we don't do this because, we kind of think it would slot nicely into the night. That's not why we do it. We do it because we know that this is real. We know that this is real stuff, because every single Christian in this room, they've been set free from something. And it's something and it's the freedom that they walk in every day. And why would we not want to talk about that? Why would we not want to talk about being liberated from all those things? But anyway, believe me when I tell you that Jesus holds the key to your freedom. And I mean that honestly. All of the padlocks that are on you at the moment that are just literally tightening as the day goes on, He's got the key to every single one of them. You have been on lockdown for far too long, and he holds the key to get you out. He does. And I can tell you now that if you asked any Christian in this world, but obviously you won't have time for that, ask any Christian in the room, and they will tell you that Jesus is not a waste of time, that Jesus is not real. Does that make sense? That Jesus is not real. And they'll tell you that he was the best decision that they've ever made. And I mean that honestly. And you might come here, and you might be coming here thinking, the night would be so much better if it didn't have Jesus. Friends, honestly, it wouldn't. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We don't do this because we think that it would be nice. We do this because we know this stuff is real, because we live it every day. But you won't find the freedom that you find in Christ anywhere else. And I mean that. I'm 23 years old. I have the rest of my life to live. But the thought of living life without Jesus scares me. It scares me. I'm 23, and the thought of living with Jesus for the rest of my life thrills my soul so much because he's given me freedom. Now, a couple of months ago, I spoke about a breakup that I experienced, which was catastrophic for me. And I mean catastrophic. I lost who I was. I lost sight of who God was. I just completely lost myself. My identity was completely shaken, and the foundations that I thought I had built on were strong were not, and there were cracks. We're doing a Kate Nash style. I'm holding on to the cracks in our foundations. That's what it was. I was literally at rock bottom. And honestly, as soon as I allowed him in, he unlocked all of those things. He set a new song within my heart. He set me free from the heartbreak that I endured. And he set me on a road of freedom. And that is still the road that I'm on today. And that's the road that every Christian is on today. And so I encourage you this evening that if there is anything that you think, do you know what, I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to get out of this, that feeling of bondage, that feeling of being completely entangled and trapped, it's temporary and it doesn't have to last, and it doesn't have to be your future. There is a place where you can go that can just set you free from all those things. And do you know what, the reason why you will not find that freedom anywhere else is because nobody else was willing to die for you to give that to you, apart from Jesus. Jesus is the only one. Jesus is the only one who was willing to die in your place. And that is why he is the only place where freedom is. It says in the Bible, who the Son sets free is free indeed. And so when you decide to follow Jesus and when you decide to put your trust in him, nobody can ever take that away from you, ever. It does not matter what other people say about you. It does not matter what people remember about you. It does not matter what people hold over you. Nothing can take you from his hand. When you're in, you're in. No going back. And so you don't have to worry about following him and trusting in him, because it is easily the most solid foundation you will ever come across. Don't build your life on sand. Build it on him. Build it on the rock. And I mean that with all my heart. In John chapter 10, and I'm going to finish with this, Jesus says, I have come so that you may have life and have it abundantly. And so if you're looking for a way out, if you're looking for life, if you're fed up of feeling heavy, if you're fed up of feeling burdened, it doesn't have to last. And that there is a place for you tonight that you can come and you can dwell.